What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? So we're gonna get straight to it. Comments will be off because I need no distractions while I'm doing this. But so I want to come and give you a quick message real quick because I kind of got this while I was viewing something and it kind of came to me. So a lot of times, right, when we're going through our problems or we're going through like these tough times and like these things that are really, creating havoc in our life or, it's just things we're struggling with, right? A lot of times in that moment when we're struggling or we're going through it, right? That's the only time that we seek out God or we seek out this guidance or this dang, I wish I could have this help to help me feel better, to make me feel better, right? And, but it's like once you kind of do get better, you tend to forget like how you overcame that, because life just gets better. So you just keep going on and then you don't really call on that help. You don't say the thanks. You don't keep up what you was doing or what you did to help get out of that energy. And so it's important to remember that we need to be grateful about those tough times that we go through, and then appreciating the fact that we even got a chance to move through it. Because there's been a lot of things that I've been like, dang, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't know how emotionally I'm going to be able to deal with this. And then like now I'm out of it, and I can look back and like, wow, like I really was strong. Like I thought I was going to be in there forever, but look at me, I actually made it out. And so that's how a lot of those situations, but then also had that thought about like, okay, even though it's better though, right? But I think back to like how I was like asking for so much advice, support, and all those things I was going through that time. But it's like now that we're better, it's like, and that's stuff like that's how sometimes like we treat God. Like he'll help us or he'll, do for us, which we know that he is our father. So, our father will always provide for us. But at the same time, it's like, but I feel like we're never really grateful or we're never like, so how they say like even when you pray when you down bad, but pray when you up too. The praying when you up is more so you praying for that gratitude, you praying to God for those things that He has done, and praying for Him to continue those things. And so that way it's like I'm not saying that you can't fall back down or you can't go through, because we're always going to go through things. But I'm saying it from the perspective of like, if you're keeping up that prayer, if you're keeping up that giving thanks, that if you're keeping up that connection with God and Source, then they're gonna always be there to like aid you, help you, especially if you're taking steps in the right direction and you're really focusing yourself on where you need to be, where you need to go, what you need to do. Then you're always gonna have that constant supportive help. But if you're just like asking for the help just to get back into your ego energy, then you're just going to repeat that cycle again. And you're going to be back on your knees asking God to help you. You're going to be back in that situation asking Source to give you signs and give you synchronicities and asking your angels for help. And, but the point of that is we have to be connected to that at all times. And not just for when we need the help. We need to be able to be when we're good, to still be giving that thanks, still be giving that prayer to, like day to day, help us continue to move forward, continue to help us stay more in the positive, It's easy to just, I'm over it now, or it's better now. And then we forget about, how we called on them, or we forget how we needed them for that support and that help, And so it's important times, you guys, just to remember that good or bad, keep connecting with Source, keep connecting with God, keep connecting with your angels. Good or bad, don't just ask for things when it's bad. Even when it's good, ask for continuation of this good energy. Ask for continuation of knowledge or wisdom or love, whatever it is that you feel you need at that moment. Don't be afraid to ask, because a lot of times as humans, we all have an ego. So our ego tends to try to like be self-sufficient. So we try to depend on our own doing to be happy, which it can be, but I'm talking about more in like the lower, the shadow ego, which is more of, like I'll do it by myself until like I have to call on somebody or I have to call on God. I'll do it my way, right? So when things are good, we don't rely on them anymore. And that's where you tend to see that disconnect when you go through something else again, right? Because you've put yourself back out there to where it's like you only depend on God or Source or your angels or your guides for when you're really in need of something or when you're really needing that help. But what about those times when you don't, right? What gratitude are you showing? What praise are you giving? What thank you are you saying to these higher powers that are helping you every day, guide you, that are helping block things that come your way? What are you, doing to give back to that when the good is happening? And I think that's what we got to, focus on too. Learning how to be grateful and build this gratitude energy for the things that we have overcome, the help that God, source, angels, ancestors have given you guys to move forward. And it's easy, like I said, to get back into your feeling good and you forget all those practices that you had to did, all those practices that you had to do, whether it be meditating, praying, going on walks. You'll see it. When you get back good, you stop doing all those things that you did to get you out of that low place. But that's the thing. You got to keep those things consistent so that you don't let yourself fall back to that low place, right? And that's what we tend to forget. And that's why we always be going through the same cycles, the same stuff, because we get a little help, ghost, get a little help, ghost. And it's basically like we're using God's energy or using source energy, we're using these beings that are here for us all time, only when we're going through tough or low times. You see what I'm saying? And so I just encourage you guys to kind of keep up whatever practices it was that you guys, used, or whether it be, like I said, talking to God, praying, connecting with your God's angels, meditating. Keep that flow. Keep that up. Keep that up. Keep that up. Keep that up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Don't slack on it just because you're not going through something bad. Don't slack on it just because things are good. Because the same instance things are good, things can be bad. So I think we need to appreciate this support that we get every time we get it. When we get those boosts of energy when we're feeling low, or if we get that advice when we're indecisive about a decision, or when we have that intuitive feeling when we don't know, like in the mind of, should I trust this, right? And then you get this inner feeling that allows you to dive so much deeper to, it's crazy. I just got a text that said yes. So what I'm saying is true as fuck. But, we gotta get ourselves back to that point where we're aligned at all times, not just aligned when we're going through it. So I hope this message helps somebody out there. I just feel really guided to come on here and give this message to y'all. Haven't did live in a minute. So I hope this helps somebody out there, regardless if it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 people that watch this. Whoever watched this, just know that this video has just given you the energy to be consistent within your practices, within your prayers, within your meditation. This is going to build consistency within you so that you can start to see the change for yourself and for your, not just your body, but your energy as well. Because we're all energy beings here, we're all souls. Some don't see it. That's okay. Let them not see it. As long as you see it. That's the importance. As long as you see it. Do you see it? Do you feel it? And if you don't, and you want to, or like you have this feeling of like diving deeper, dive deeper. Go on that hunch that you feel to go meditate or go to a walk or go to the lake or connect with nature. Take it. And when you're out there, see what you feel. Tune in, quiet your mind down. Don't overthink. If you're overthinking, that's fine. Journal, talk it out, do a voice memo, find ways to get out of your head. Because this is around the time, y'all, where a lot of people gonna be in their head, and that's what's gonna mess a lot of people up with where they're headed or what they really want to do or where they're really trying to go or how they're handling situations. The mind is what confuses us a lot of times, or what makes us think we know it all. But when you tap into your intuition, you tap into actually listening, receiving guidance, receiving understanding, receiving wisdom, you'll truly be able to get to throat chakra. You will truly be able to get true. You will have that truth that you're looking for versus trying to depend on it from, other people or outside sources that don't necessarily really give you the truth. It's more giving you just, it's kind of giving like what some people are like, well, it could be this, it could be that, it could be that, right? So you have all these different scenarios of what it could be, how it could go, how it could do, but when you really tune in with yourself, quiet the mind down, you'll get a lot of those answers that you're asking yourself, or you'll see yourself reframe questions, because it's kind of like this. If the questions you're asking, you already know the answers to, you need to ask a deeper question. You got to dive deeper, and that's just it. And I've had that experience too within this past week of writing a question down and then boom, being able to answer, But then I remember I scratched it out because I'm like, well, I already know that. Then it came to me, a deeper question that I did not have the answer to, that required me to actually have to look at something a little deeper, or look at myself a little deeper to really get that answer out. Throat chakra, right? And that's the challenging part, right? It's challenging for a lot of us to be honest and be truthful and to accept the truth of things and of ourselves, which I get it. But at the same time, it's like we can't stay in that fear, because that fear is what's going to keep us low. That fear is what's going to keep us blocked. That fear is what's going to keep us away from truly diving into our purpose. And let's take a step back from the purpose. The true love for yourself, the true love for having respect, understanding, and like all of these things that you need to be happy, peaceful, and content within your life. You know, I feel like we depend on a lot of things that give us this feeling or like this temporary happiness, but in the long run, it only fills up just for that moment. It doesn't really fill up for the longevity, right? And the longevity is where you build your own self-love, your own self-pleasure, your own self, like where you won't even have to depend on things to be happy. You won't have to depend on having this to even feel peace, because the peace will already exist within you. All those extra things you have are just extensions. You know, they're like extensions, like opportunities that you have outside of yourself that can aid, right? But you are the true source of your own happiness. You are the true source of your own peace. And we have to remember that, y'all. We gotta get out of this programming that we have to depend on people, places, money, materials, all these other things to keep us in this high vibration. I ain't even gonna say that, but see, that's what I'm saying. That's the illusion, right? To make you think that, oh, having all these things will make you be fulfilled. I mean, to some people, yeah, I get it. Some people, they can just have a little money and they good. They good. They good. They don't even stress about what else. They retail therapy, like, you know, that's their wage, right? But a lot of you guys are not in that position to just go. And even if you do, right, you can go buy that thing, but it'll only make you feel good for that week, right? Or make you feel good for like the moment or just so long. And then you'll look at it and be like, damn, I thought this. Imagine if you ever got something right, or if you ever bought something, you're like, dang, like, oh, when I get this, you're so excited. And then you finally get it and it's just like, I don't know why I thought this was going to be a little more fun. You know, that's because you're trying to depend on certain things to create happiness, to create peace, to create this feeling of wholeness. And it ain't going to ever do it. You think about, I'm going to put them in a deeper perspective, right? Think about what people had to do back in the day, right? That would fulfill them when there was no, we built this, we had that. Let's go back to the times where all we had was each other. Animals, us, you know, that's it, right? What did they do back then to be fulfilled? What was their things that they did to keep them at peace, to keep them happy, to keep, you know? And you got to think back then, how the hell, they didn't even know what happiness was, right? A lot of these emotions and a lot of these things that we taught ourselves to and we think we know is all things that were made up over time. Words that were given meaning over time as we've aged. So it's about what it means to you, not what it means to the world, not what society says, not what the world says all these things mean. That's the deeper part we got to get to, y'all. We got to dive deeper. We got to dive deeper. And we feel like, you know, we settle so much and we settle for the understanding only of what they've taught us, right? But what have we learned? What have for yourself have you took the time out to really learn? And I know this message ain't gonna hit everybody because some people been left out, right? Because they're not intrigued by this message. They're not intrigued by what it is that they've got to be consistent, or what it is that they have to change, or what it is that they need to get better at. You know, and that's what you got to respect. And people on time, they're going to do what they want to do. When people are ready, people will go through what they have to go through for them to make changes. Some of the people, they're going to be karmic for a lot of their life, right? And they're going to be here another lifetime and another lifetime and another lifetime, right? Because that's the cycle. They have to learn lessons. They have to complete things. We're all here for a reason, right? There's lessons that we're learning while we're also on a mission to like healing and, you know, shifting this planet. There's a lot that's going on here, y'all. It's a lot of people that ain't on no mission at all. It's a lot of people that's lost souls. That don't got souls. They just walking bodies, walking minds, brains. There are some people that have souls, but they still ain't went through what they needed to wake up yet. There's a few of us that are awoke. We are literally having understanding. We are literally here. We are seeing through the eyes of this vessel and taking it all in, you know, and connecting with that inner part of the soul, you know. And then there are some people that are here that are truly beyond the physical. And that goes deeper. I ain't gonna get too deep on that because, but it's people here that are beyond this, that are beyond what we see with our eyes, that are always around, and they play a role too, just how we play a role here and we do our part. They do their part too. So we got to just remember that all is one, y'all. It's kind of like when you're going through something and then you meet somebody and they going through the same thing you going through. Or you meet somebody and y'all struggle with the same thing. Like, y'all, that's something like y'all both struggle with, right? A lot of those encounters are kind of there to show you, like, okay, you're not alone. Like, just because you feel maybe that's your own problem, there's somebody out there to go through that same thing. They think the same way you do. They see it the same way, right? But maybe that was the point of, having to understand the point. It's not just the trauma bond aspect that a lot of people go to when they find people that have the same problem as them, right? But it's about that healing point that each other can find. We can find healing points within each other, right? It's kind of like when you meet somebody that's already been through something like that, right? They usually have advice or guidance on how to move through. So it's like, don't just neglect the fact that, or it's kind of like when, you might still be going through something, but somebody else might be out of it, like, let that be okay. It's okay to open up to that and see, and even ask, because some people, they don't get advice, sometimes you're going to have to ask, like, hey, do you mind sharing, like, ways that, don't be afraid to ask for that help. Because, like, what did I say earlier, right? We want to be so self-sufficient, logically have it all figured out by ourselves, right? And that's that, like, ego part of, like, the wanting to know it all. It's kind of like when you don't even know anything, right? But you'll say you know it just because it look quote unquote cool, or it makes you seem more, what you were talking about, But y'all don't gotta do all that. It's okay not to know. It's okay not to have understanding. It's okay not to be where other people are, right? Because, like I said, in our own time, everybody's going to get to that point eventually. Everybody's going to learn what they need to learn. Everybody's going to understand. And I've had to understand that too, that, like, I can't force people to choose to make the right decisions. I can't force people to choose to journal. I can't force people to choose to meditate every day, right? But I can only inspire them by me doing the work myself, right? And if they don't get inspired by it, cool, that's okay, because at the end of the day, I'm doing it for me, though, right? But I'm also letting myself be inspirational to other people that I know can benefit from, making these changes, making these shifts, right? Finding that life they really want to live, right? Then versus just being put on this earth and to experience, and I get it. Some people are here just to experience and quote unquote have fun, and I mean, I get it. Do what you want to do. Those are usually people that don't really, they may see what I'm saying is like, okay, you're dragging it, or you're doing, don't listen to them people. Just let them go and do what they're going to do. Because once you start worrying about doing what they're going to do, then that's where you start seeing yourself getting caught up in their energy, their situations, their problems, nope. You cut it off right then and there. And you move on, simply. It's no hate, it's all love, right? It's love and understanding. So, I just want to get in here real quick with y'all and share the message with y'all. Like I said, I feel real guided to get on. So, I hope this helped. And I hope y'all have the rest of good. Can you talk? Right here, retrograde. I really do hope that y'all really do have like a good rest of y'all day, for real. And, whatever fears y'all are going through around this time, just sit in it, and see why you got that fear. See why you feel it that way. See why you see it that way, because that's going to help you build understanding with yourself. Because that's what we're here to do, connect to ourselves, right? The true us. Not the programmed us that our parents made us, not the programmed us that our environment made us. No, the actual true you, the who you want to be, the free. I don't know, I keep hearing free. Like the free to be, free to be. I don't know why it sounds like free to be, like free the bee. But yeah, so I thank y'all for tuning in once again. And I had a great time telling y'all this message. And I really do hope that it helps somebody out there. And yeah, it's your boy Beezy, and we are out.